Max here for a our weekly what's going on in the world of Unicorn Nation. So let's just make sure we're good to go, that the tech's working for us and all that good stuff. So let's see. Okay. So we are live this week in the world of Unicorn Nation. We're live on Facebook. I think we're live on YouTube. We're live everywhere in the ether of online stuff. We are live. So let me open that PowerStream chat box, so that way we can see all the chats coming in and all that good stuff. When you guys hop into the live, just drop a comment. Let me know who's watching. Let me know if you're on, and that way I can. We got the live going in a bunch of places, so that way I know who's watching, who's asking questions, all that good stuff. So today I want to share a few things. One of the topics is going to be about kind of creative creation, creative ideation. How do we come up with creative angles for our ads? Looking at some of the new ads that we launched in the last week, why we created them that way, what you can learn, how you can use them, use the concepts and that style of thinking to improve your ads, to make your ads better. What we're also going to talk about is something that has nothing to do with ads necessarily, but has to do with marketing yourself and your business in a ethical, professional, and an effective way, and how not to do that. So we're going to start with a mini rant, and that is going to be something that I see on a lot of groups and link. I see it all over the place, but it's predominantly in Facebook groups and LinkedIn that I see it most abused, right? And if you guys agree with what I'm saying, so I'm going to go on a little rant here, and if you guys agree with that and think I'm on the right path there, and you kind of like, yeah, that's terrible and you shouldn't do that way, and you understand that, let me know by hitting that like button below when I get through that. That way I know that I'm on the right path and I'm not just totally shooting in the dark there. So, all right. I came into the Facebook group today, and I saw a series of posts. Maybe not series. I saw a handful, but I've seen a handful over a period of time, and they all kind of go the same way. And I should have kept a few just as an examples of like what not to do, and kind of point people out for like I think people need to get called out on their BS sometimes. I think that's something that more of us should be doing, is like calling people out when they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing, right? So I think shaming in the right way is not a bad thing, that people need to toughen up a little bit. So unfortunately, I didn't keep any of the posts, but basically here's the gist of it, right? You come into somebody's Facebook group, into any group, right? Into any kind of public forum that is not your audience, right? You didn't build the group, you didn't build the audience. You're kind of a guest in that audience. And the first thing you do is you post something where it's just a blatant spam, right? It's about your YouTube channel, or it's, hey guys, I have a LinkedIn market. I'm just making this up. A LinkedIn marketing strategy agency, or a LinkedIn marketing course, or Instagram agency. If you guys want, Instagram growth hacks, click here to schedule an appointment, or to sign up, or to buy my course, or whatever. And it's amazing how many people I see doing this, right? And when I say how many, I'm talking like it should be zero, right? I don't care if you're the single dumbest marketer in the world, if you're the youngest marketer in the world, if you're over the age of 18, you should have enough common sense to probably know that, hey, just spamming isn't really good to look, right? That like if I just go into somebody's group and there's 10,000 people in there, this person, they probably care about the quality of the content, right? They build a group of 10,000 people or 100,000 people, however much it is. They probably care about the quality. So I probably shouldn't just go in there and the first thing I do within the first few minutes is, copy and paste the same pitch I've done in a bunch of groups. The person who I didn't ban from the groups, they may be watching this, and they are. I hope they're getting a lesson here. Literally, I joined the group like 10 minutes earlier. They hadn't been in the group for more than a day, let alone more than an hour. And that was the first thing they did, right? It was just unsolicited spam, right? And I see it on LinkedIn all the time as well, where it's every day I have at least a dozen to maybe 20 messages in my inbox, and 100% of them every single day are spam, are generic canned copy. It's funny. I just saw my friend Onyx Singal. He posted on his Facebook page just like a few hours ago, and I was trying to find the post, but it was basically somebody who wanted to be on his podcast, on Onyx podcast, and they sent him an email, basically an email pitch of like wanting to be on their podcast, and it was just terrible. It nothing was about Onyx or his business or his podcast or his community. It was about them, right? It's what do I do? What do I need? And why you should give it to me. I can tell you, if you're watching this video and you're trying to get something from somebody, which is what we're all doing. If you're a business owner, you are spending most of your days trying to get things that other people have from them that they usually don't want to give you, right? That is what we do on a regular basis. That the best place to start is not to ask and make it all about me, right? In fact, it should be the exact opposite. It should be, what should you do? What can you do for me, right? What can you do for my business, for my brand, for that, right? And it's fascinating. I don't know, maybe there's somebody watching right now, and I'd be curious, anybody watching right now does that type of LinkedIn marketing or does that type of Facebook group marketing and has seen results from it where they're like, so here's what I could get. So I don't appreciate or respect this form of marketing, but listen, I can get if you're willing to do unethical, immoral, sleazy, scammy, spammy things, but they get results, right? Now, I would never do that, and I condone it, and I think it's a immoral and unethical, and I don't think you should do business that way. But from a pure numeric, like economical and logical perspective, I could get that. It's like, you don't give a crap about the morals or ethics or anything like that. You just want results and to grow a business, and you're willing to do this because it gets results, even though it burns relationships or whatever. I can rationalize that. I can understand that. What I can't understand is that type of LinkedIn marketing approach or the Facebook group approach, where there's no way in hell anybody would buy a service from them. Like I can't fathom a scenario where somebody gets one of those canned LinkedIn messages and replies back, you know what? I was just thinking that I need to outsource my website development to an Indian website development shop. It's crazy. The coincidence of that, it was amazing. I was just talking, I said, you know, we need a mobile app developer outsourced in Ukraine. And you came to us like it was a godsend. It's a miracle that you approached, you appeared in my LinkedIn inbox and you personally sought me out. Like, it doesn't happen, right? Every interaction is the exact same. Because I see it all over my Facebook feed. I see it from friends of mine. They're like, you know, people blast it all the time. Like, this is just not effective. It's borderline, you know, Nigerian Prince, where it's like the next evolution of that in kind of a 2.0 world. So when you're thinking about how can I grow my business, and this is where I think people get in trouble, especially younger entrepreneurs, younger marketers who don't have influence, who don't have an audience, who don't have any type of ecosystem that's developed yet. And that's a struggle, right? I get it. You know, it wasn't that long ago for me where I was just getting started out. I didn't have a single follower. I didn't have a single customer. I didn't have a single person other than direct friends and family that knew who I was, that knew what I was good at, or that cared about it. Not a single person, right? And you have to build that, right? That takes time. And there are obviously things that you can do to shrink that window of time, right? One of the easiest things you can do is to associate and help people that are above you, right? So if you can look and see, here's where I am, and I want to be here, right? And there's like, so let's visualize this, right? So I got too many big props, right? So let's do this. We're going to use some of these guys that I haven't used before just because I want to have some fun. So we're going to pull this down. Okay. All right. Let's have some fun with some characters. We're going to have fun here. Okay. Let me scoot this over. Okay. We're gonna visualize. We're gonna visualize this out. I'm a visual learner. Okay. Everyone go with me. Everyone see can you guys see you should see 3 different pop heads, bobbleheads down here. Can everyone see those? Just let me know. Otherwise it defeats the entire point of of me going through this process if you guys can't see this. So just drop a comment, let me know that you can see it. I'm gonna check my my Facebook real quick to make sure, because I navigated away from that. Okay. Let me go back and check this comment. Okay. Christoph says yes. We got Michael and Timothy. Okay, what's up, everybody? So, all right. So we have this. I'm going to order it in order. Okay. So here's me. And this is actually me. This is for my friends at My Pay Kickstart. It's kind of creepy that it's a bobblehead they sent me of me. So this will be me. This is Max right here. And this is brand new, no connections, no network, no audience, no relationship. Pre 2015, 2014 Max right here. Then over here we have Batman. Now, this is who I want to be. I want to be like Batman. Okay, so I want to be as cool as him. I want to have as much money as him. I want to have all his cool toys and gadgets and everything like that. So what I do is I go and I seek out the person that's most like Batman, right? The person that that is the closest to what I want to be, and I work with them. So let's say that person is Dean Winchester from Supernatural, who's this little guy here with the cane blade. So Dean and I team up, and I approach Dean and I say, listen, I'm just getting started out. I have a lot of skills. I've worked really hard. I have a lot of experience. I've experienced because, just because you don't have influence and stuff doesn't mean you don't have experience. You might have been working behind the scenes for years. So, hey, I know some stuff. I'm really good at Facebook ads or whatever your skill set is. I'm really good at paid traffic. You need paid traffic, Mr. Dean from Supernatural. You don't have any paid traffic. You don't have any visibility online. You're a big figure, but you're missing all these things. What if I could help you with those things, right? Let me help you grow those parts of your business. Now, for Dean over here, that's a very low risk proposition, okay? It's a very low risk, high reward because you're not going to get paid to do it. So for them, it's like, hey, I'll let this person, do free work for me. And if they do a great job, I'll get great results. And it's a win-win. So I'm able to then do hard work, get lots of experience, build a relationship with this person who's very well known and respected and has influence and has clout. That gets me much closer to being this person over here in a shorter period of time because I'm associating with an already well-known figure who has influence, and I'm essentially kind of leapfrogging everybody else. Okay. Now, I need to do more. This is fun. I need to actually put these things. I have so many of these Funko Pops. I need to start putting them to use. I'm going to start doing an exclusive Funko Pop live stream coming soon to you. It's going to be, the entire live stream is going to be me just acting out parts of my life or trainings using only Funko Pops or Hokey down here. So if you guys want to see 100% Funko Pop webinar or training, let me know in the comments. Maybe we'll make it happen. Like a stop motion thing. So anyway, for me, when I was getting started, right, this person was Kevin Harrington, right? So Dean is, now it's getting confusing because now they're real people. So Dean was Kevin, right? Dean he's already a huge figure. Everyone knows Kevin. Everyone trusts Kevin. Kevin has a relationship he spent, 40 plus years developing. I have a few years. So I go to Kevin, my partner Jeremy and I go to Kevin, and we start helping him with his digital, helping with his social, helping him build his email list, his audience, right? And over a few months, he gets results. And he's like, you know what? I'm pretty happy with these guys' work over here. So let's do more business together, right? Let's team up. Let's start an agency together. And over the next year and a half, we went everywhere together, right? So we went and we met with 3M. We met with, all these big companies. I got to meet all kinds of big influential individuals. And that gave me a huge head start. And that helped me kind of go past a lot of other people, because I was able to leverage a relationship and have influence by association. You obviously need to then prove yourself. You need to perform. Once you get the spotlight and once you get on the stages and stuff, you need to perform. But this is a great shortcut to get there. So, okay, we're going to move these guys out of the way for right now. So that is something you can do, right? If you're just getting started, is you find somebody that's where you want to be, influence-wise, audience-wise, skill-wise, connection-wise, success-wise, and you associate with them. You begin to try to do business with them, try to help them. But again, remember what I talked about in the beginning. That email to Anik was all about the person emailing. It wasn't about Anik, right? If you really want to get somebody like Anik to help you and to promote you and to support you in any way, you need to do 100% what can I do for him? I don't care about me in the short run. I don't care if you pay me. I don't care if you give me a shout out. I don't care if you give me anything. I don't care if you even pay attention to me. All I want is the opportunity. I want the opportunity to be able to work around you, work near you, to associate with you. That is powerful. That is worth way more than any type of short-term cash that you can get, right? So that's one thing you can do. And I recommend that any young entrepreneur, any new business owner that is really doesn't have experience or relationships or influence or any type of clout to do that, right? To find your Batman. Who is the Batman in your industry, right? Who is that ideal character you want to be, that ideal avatar you want to be, and find them and try to work with them in any capacity you can, right? The other thing that you can do, and this leads to the issue that I talked about before, is provide value to the masses. Right? This is kind of more of a one-to-one, right? This is like big figure, Kevin Harrington and me or you providing value. This one would be more like you and then everybody else online. So you and the mic, right? You to everybody. Now in those situations, that involves, getting active in Facebook groups. That involves posting a lot of content. None of this is easy. There's no shortcuts. There's no hacks. There's nothing that you can do that is going to make you successful instantly, right? There's no hack or strategy that you can literally just, boom, I got money. It doesn't work like that, right? The world doesn't work like that. Anybody tells you it works like that is full of shit and you shouldn't listen to them, right? So the Facebook group model is effective. It works if you do it right. Now, when I say do it right, what I mean is you cannot be salesy. This is where everyone messes up. This is where almost I'm not saying everyone doesn't messes up. I'm saying everyone who messes up almost exclusively because of this. They get impatient, right? They don't want to do the hard work. They don't want to put the time in. They want to start making money right away. They want to start getting, results right out of the gate. And so they might spend a week or two answering questions, providing value. And then all of a sudden they start slipping in, hey, well, DM me if you want answers. Ooh, go to this landing page if you want answers. Hey, I got a course, by the way. It all starts becoming a little more promotion-y, salesy, right? That is the quickest way to maybe get a few leads. Maybe some people do it. That group mod and admin, you're done, right? Maybe they'll let it slide a few times, but eventually you're done. And I can tell you, it's a small circle, right? It sometimes feels like we're in this massive industry and there's so many people, and there are a lot of people at the bottom. There are a lot of people who are trying, right? There's a lot of people who are struggling to make an e-commerce store work. A lot of people who are trying to make their social media marketing agency work. There's a lot of them, right? There are not many people up here who are actually making real money, who have real influence, right? And almost all of these people know each other and talk to each other. Super small, right? I'm kind of a new entrant into that kind of inner circle, if you want to call it that. But it gives you the ability to talk with and network with all the heavy hitters, right? Pretty much anybody that for years I followed and paid money for courses or trainings or had killed and met, I now can pick up the phone and call and talk to, right? Pretty much any of them. So once one of those people in that tight knit circle gets burned, that information gets shared really rapidly, right? I get asked all the time, what do you think of this person, right? This person solicited me. This person posted in my group. This person did this. What are your thoughts about them, right? Are they bullshit or are they legit, right? And the last thing you want to do is burn your reputation when you're just getting started. It's so unfortunate. It's so sad when I see it happen, because it's almost always like younger people who are like, getting in there, hustling, grinding, pulling the Gary Vee model, and poaching members from groups, trying to get sales from groups. And I just see it. It's like you are committing career suicide, right? You're throwing the batarang and it's coming back and hitting you on yourself. It's knocking yourself out, right? I still love this batarang. It's my favorite prop in my office, in case you guys don't know. Actually, this is becoming a close second. I just filmed a video ad using this guy right here. This is actually the Guru Buster 3000, and I shot a video ad about that. I can tell you about it in just a minute. Actually, it's going to be the second part of this live, is talking about our ad creative process, and you'll learn more about the Guru Buster 3000. If you're curious about what it is, drop a unicorn below. And actually, maybe I'll hold off. Maybe I won't talk about it. But if I get enough unicorns, maybe I'll share the Guru Buster 3000 ad with you guys. We'll see. This is my favorite. This is my new favorite prop, but I don't know if it's better than the batarang here. Okay. So the point is that there's a right way to provide value and there's a wrong way. And the wrong way is to go into groups and direct anybody outside of that group, or to be salesy in any way. So totally be active in the group. If you want to be active in this group, in our marketing strategy for business leaders group, do it. We love it. I would love it if all 10,000 plus of our members posted content every day, asked questions every day, helped the community every day. I would love nothing more than that, right? That would be a dream for any group admin, any group owner, right? But it's got to be because you want to help and you want to provide value, not because you're just trying to sell them stuff, not because you just want to make money, right? And you can't link out, you can't have a call to action. Don't share. And people are trying to get smart, right? But it's not smart, right? Like, so here's one I've seen recently. You post something on your brand page, public figure page, and then you share that post into a group without promoting anything, but it still has your brand page as the share in there, and you clearly want people to go like your page, right? The people that run the big groups, they know all the tricks, right? They know all the BS, and they might not call you out on it. They might not ban you the first time, but they're aware of it. I can promise you that, just like I'm aware of it when it happens in our group. So either help and provide value and care about giving and genuinely caring and trying to help other entrepreneurs and marketers, and more importantly, helping the group owner provide more value, or don't do it at all, right? Don't try to play that gray area, because you are going to get busted. You're going to burn that bridge. And I can tell you, like, if anybody does in our group, I'll never do business with them. I'll never recommend them. If somebody contacts me, what do you think of this person? I'll speak honestly. Say, listen, I don't trust that person. I want to do business with them. I say that a lot about people. Right? I get calls a lot. I get messages a lot. Hey, I'm thinking about hiring this person. Should I hire them? What do you think about them? And if I know them and I've been burned by them and I don't like them, I'm very blunt about it, because I don't want my friends to get burned. I don't want my friends to get hurt. Right? So that's part one. That was my rant about just because I've seen it more and more and more. And it's unfortunate because I think a lot of these younger kids think they're smooth. They think they're really smart and they're like, they figure something out. But they haven't, right? They're just hurting themselves in the long run. So that's one. Now what I want to do is share some stuff. And I see there's some questions coming in and everything. And I apologize if I don't respond to your questions. We use Restream, and it pulls in a lot of the comments, but for some reason it doesn't pull in comments from certain places. So like I've seen some comments coming in here, but so if I'm going to kind of go through at the end and do my best to answer them. But if I don't respond to it, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's purely because there's multiple places where we're streaming this. So I want to share real quick just some of the stuff we're doing on an ad side, and talk about kind of how we think about ad creative and how you should think about how I think you should think about it. So let's open up this. I'm gonna go change this over. Okay, so everyone right now should see a screen, and this is a brand new ad. Let me go back to. I think I just launched it yesterday. So let me know if you can see my my ad account right now. Just say yes in the comments if you guys can see it, just so I know when I'm showing you guys this stuff you can actually see it. Otherwise, it's a big waste of time. And while you're saying yes, while I get that checked in, I'm going to put these little bobbleheads back up before I forget. Let's put that up there. Put Dean back. Okay. All right. So so it looks like it looks like people can see. Christoph said, "How did you keep the old UX?" Facebook just takes time to roll things out. It's totally totally random, right? Some ad accounts get things faster, some don't. But there's nothing I've done intentionally to not get the new UX. Actually, interestingly enough, a lot of my ad accounts still have the old UX, which is great. Actually, it's like all the ones that I'm active in on a regular basis still have the old UX, which I love because I don't like the new one that much. So I want to show you just a few of the creatives that we're running with and kind of talk through them. So here's one of our newest ones. I'm going to pull this up here. And again, like these are our ads. It's not meant to be promotional. I don't care whether any of you opt into this at all or you buy anything from me. None of that matters at this point. I just want to share this because this is stuff we have the most control over and we can be the most creative on. So that's where I like to share stuff. Plus, I have free will to be like fully transparent here. Don't have to, hold things back like I might have to with a client. So this is the new creative, one of the new images, and basically what I want to get across today to everyone watching is you need to think in the terms of attention generation and attention retention, and that's like a double a mouthful right there, attention retention. But we live in a attention economy. We've lived in an attention economy for quite some time, and consistently year after year, decade after decade, the brands who are able to own attention win. And the brands and businesses who cannot capture and retain and maintain attention lose. So, and I'll give you a few examples once I go back to the full camera view of me, where I'll talk through some historical examples of brands that have done that for print, when print became big, radio, when radio became big, and when TV became big, just to give you some examples so you can really, this point can be hammered home for you. So most ads I see, and when I'm saying this, like, let me know if this is what you guys see as well, and if you agree with this. The average Facebook ad that I see when I'm scrolling my feed goes something like this. It's, maybe an emoji, product X helps Y, link, get product X for 20% off today, link. Then it's an image of the product, maybe on a white background. Maybe it's somebody holding the image or holding the product. Maybe it's a kind of crappy video of the product. And then, the headlines, kind of just the product name. Then it says shop now. That is the kind of average e-commerce ad I see on a regular basis. And the same thing I can look at for other industries, right? So for our industry, the info product business, right? So the training business, the average ad there is, a video of somebody basically looking at their ad account, or it's a video of them in front of their car, or it's a video in front of them with them in front of their office, in front of their trophies, or one of those variations. And the ad copy uses a lot of it's a lot of ethos, right? It's they're trying to build the credibility. I've done X, I've achieved X, I've made X, right? It's very, I'll pop my camera down here so you can see me while I'm doing this. It's very focused on achievement, right? And so that's basically what we do is we look at what are the trends and themes in industries that we participate in, right? And so if there's a clear trend and there's a clear consistent theme across a lot of the advertisers, we want to try to do whatever is the opposite of that. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, why would you do that? Why would you try to go against the grain? Why would you try to do something that nobody else is doing? I'll tell you why. If let's keep the info product example going. So if all the gurus, if all the people with courses and with trainings, pitching webinars, info, whatever that whole industry, if all of them are targeting, business owners, affiliate marketers, drop shippers, Shopify interests, they're all targeting the same interests, which they are. That means that person who's in their target bucket on a daily basis is seeing numerous ads from numerous experts pitching numerous programs, right? Now the statistic, this is a pretty crazy stat. So the average person, the average Facebook user, the average social media user, when they open their phone and they scroll the length of the Empire State Building every day. Think about that. The average social media user, they scroll the length of the Empire State Building every single day. That's insane, right? That is insane. On top of that, they pay attention to a video ad or a post, an ad on Facebook for 1.7 seconds. 1.7 seconds, right? So we'll do a little test here. Let's do a stopwatch. Okay. So ready? Okay, we're scrolling. You're looking at the ad. Stop. That's 1.89 seconds. That's how much time you have as a marketer to convince me to actually read your ad, to actually watch your video, to actually pay attention. Not 3 seconds, not 5 seconds, not 10 seconds, 1.7 seconds. Okay? So if I am scrolling through all day, I'm scrolling the Empire State Building, right? Going through, I'm at the skyscraper top right now, and I'm burnt out. I've seen all this stuff. And I see another video from another person in front of their car. That becomes background noise. It does not, it becomes a routine. It becomes a reoccurring image or reoccurring video or reoccurring piece of text. And because of that, I become less and less aware. My brain starts to tune those things out. So your brain is really, really good at turning off lots of parts of it when it's not needed, right? So it's very good at turning on to autopilot. And actually, let me go full screen while I'm talking to this and we'll hop back into the ad. So your brain is exceptional. It's a incredible machine, an absolutely incredible machine that has developed over, lifetime, thousands of years, right? However long, probably longer than that. I'm good at a lot of things when it comes to, I just read the book Sapiens too, and I should be better about the timing and stuff, but thousands and thousands of years that our brain, maybe 10,000 plus, that our brain has developed in a current form. And so think about it in this terms. Think about your drive to work, right? Now, it's easy for me to say this. I go to the office 3 times a week. I work from home most of the time. But when I used to go into an office every single day, Monday to Friday for, over a year, something amazing happened. Something pretty interesting happened. And I'm sure it's happened to you as well. Got in the car, 7:30 in the morning, right? Get to Wawa, get my coffee, which is the first stop. And then I get on the 30-minute drive to the office. And it was crazy. There were so many mornings where all of a sudden I would be in the parking lot. And I was like, what the hell just happened? Did I just did I black out on the way to the office? How did I just drive here? It literally like that. And I looked up and I was in the parking lot. I had driven the whole way through lights, through traffic, stop signs, turns, and I ended up at the office. Perfectly fine. And that happens a lot, right? I'm sure if you start to think about it, you'll realize it happens a lot in your life. Most of us are not even aware of it, right? I try to be more conscious of these things. So I'm a marketer. I like to kind of study the brain and how it works. So I try to be more aware of these things. But a lot of us, our brain goes on autopilot a lot of times, right? Throughout our day to day, our brain is going on autopilot, right? And so you think about that from a business perspective, from a marketing perspective, right? If I'm coming through and I see the same ad and the same ad, and I see the same post and the same post, and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling, I tune out. My brain just shuts off the critical thinking. It shuts off a lot of the pieces and components that we use to make decisions. It just goes on autopilot. That's also why, and I'll get back to the point here on a little tangent. Most of us, when you're trying to solve a problem, right? When you're trying to come up with a really cool new ad campaign or a cool new strategy, you struggle when you're trying to do it at work, right? So if you're at your desk right here and I'm typing away and I'm working on ads, and I'm trying to like think now critically out of the box for a new ad idea, really suck at it, right? I'll never come up with a good idea that way. Something amazing happens though. All of a sudden, I leave the desk, right? And I go walk into my bedroom, and I go lay down with my wife, and we start watching Netflix, and I'm playing with Hokey, and then I go to turn off the TV and go to lay down. Everything's quiet, and I'm just laying there and thinking, what if I did a billboard? What if I did a play on the Morgan & Morgan billboards that I see all the time riding? But what if I did a play on it? Hurt by a guru, call this number. That's a cool idea. What if I did a Tinder swipe ad? So instead of swipe left, you swipe left on a guru. What if I did, there was just this crazy glitch on Facebook a few weeks ago where everyone's image became blank and you could see the alt text behind it. What if I did an ad where I did that, replicated it, but the alt text was things about our offer? That's where my ideas come. Or when I'm driving, when you're not doing your tasks, when your brain is not focused on something intently, where you're doing it all the time, you can now come up with really, really good ideas. And so what I recommend everyone to do is actually get a notebook and put it by your bedside, right? Get a voice note program for your phone. So when you're driving and you have a great idea, when you stop at a light, you can record that idea. I luckily have Larissa with me all the time. So I'll have her, I'll be driving and out of nowhere, I'll just say, hey, babe, write this down. And she'll write an idea down. I was like, write down this idea, Las Vegas sign with Zuckerberg theme about taking all your money, whatever it might be, right? That's where I have all my ideas. So now back to this ad, right? And pattern interruption. That's really the goal, is thinking about what image, what video, what words could I use that would stop that Empire State Building scroll, that would allow me to retain attention for more than 1.7 seconds. That in that 1.7 seconds would ensure that they stay for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Because I don't care how good your offer is. I don't care how good your landing page is. I don't care how good your NLP is or your sales tactics are. I don't care about any of that. If you don't get them to stop and stay and actually engage with any of that, it's irrelevant, right? And so a lot of these ads we're coming out with now, that's the primary focus, is what can we use visually that is going to stop people, right? And so this example, I got all of you. Half of you in the comments said, wait, we're not seeing the ad. Something's wrong there. Your brain told you that there's something wrong with this image. You weren't even aware of it, but your brain triggered something. And some of you commented and said that it's wrong. Probably other of you probably thought it was wrong, but they wouldn't say anything. So if you're scrolling through your feed, right? And I know this is just a post, but let's say you're scrolling and you see this image and you see these little things. Your brain knows that these are not supposed to be here, right? These little things mean broken, mean bad, right? There's visual cues that we all know. The 404 error. There are certain things that if we see, our brain instantly associates it with something that means this is different. This is wrong. This shouldn't be here, right? This shouldn't look like this. So that's job number one. And that's accomplished with an image like this. So job number one, just to go back to like points here. Job number one is to stop the scroll and is to get your brain, your customer's brain, your prospect's brain, your lead's brain, whoever it is, to say, there's something here that I need to pay attention to. There's something about this image, this video, that is telling me I need to pay more attention to it. I need to investigate it because there's something about it, right? That's job number one. Now, you can do that with the image, you got the video. You can do that with the headline. You can do that with the first sentence you see, right? So I always try to focus on first sentence, headline, and then the main creative. In my opinion, those are the three most important elements of the entire ad, right? Newsfeed, the description, the call to action, the body of the copy, all that's important. But first sentence, creative, headline are the three most important things when it comes to an ad, because those are the three things that your eyes are drawn to most. Those are the three biggest areas that are most noticeable, most visible on a page, right? So we're always trying to do that with our images, our videos, our headlines. Another thing we like to do with our headlines, and you can do this with ad copy as well. Think about using words. This also goes back to attention grabbing and pattern interruption, and your brain recognizes something's wrong. Our brain fills in blanks, right? So here's another question I'll ask everybody. Who here, they have like games of this online or examples of this online, has read an article or a letter or something where there were a ton of misspellings, yet you read it perfectly? Right, there's an example going around. I forget I'll send the link at some point. Maybe somebody here has the link and they can share it. It's an article, and all it does is ask you to read this article, and then at the end of it, it says, "Did you notice anything wrong or anything different about this?" There were no vowels in it, so all the words were just consonants. There were no vowels, yet somehow your brain is able to insert those vowels into those words, and you could read those words as if they were there in the first place. It's pretty crazy that you're capable of doing, right? Your brain's also aware of what certain words should be. So it makes assumptions about, if the word is wrong, that it actually should be this. So for example, on this ad, we put, hey, do your ads keep getting zucked? Because when most people see UCKED, most people think fucked, right? That is, you're playing on that where people are like, wait, did they just say, do your ads keep getting fucked? They can't say that on Facebook. Oh no, it was zucked, right? We've created our own word, and we've played on a word that would stand out. That is, it's a curse word, right? So people are gonna notice it. It's gonna stand out. We're obviously not cursing here. We're just saying zucked, right? That's another thing. If you can have a play on words, if you can use certain words where you change a letter in it, so it stands out. We've also seen, where like misspellings and things like that can actually stand out because people like investigate a little further. They read it, but they know something's off. They don't know why it's off. There's a lot of little things like that that you can do. So here's one. So with this creative, it's worked really well out of the gate. We're really happy with it. We're excited to test it more. We might actually start using images like this as thumbnails for more longer form videos, because these do a great job of getting attention and getting people to engage. And then having a video that does more of the kind of problem agitation, the hook, the story, the sell, all the things we want to do on the back end of it. What I also like to think about is, if you're selling a product in the industry, right? Specifically what we're selling, your ads can actually do a lot more selling than just the fact they're promoting something. And that sounds confusing, but let me backtrack. So for us, eventually what I'm trying to sell people here is paid traffic training, the new Facebook course that I came out with. So who would you like to buy a Facebook course from? Somebody that just hits you with a lot of really basic generic ads, and they send you to auto webinars, and they send you to cheat sheets and worksheets and all kinds of shit, right? And they SMS you and email you and all this cookie cutter standard stuff. Or somebody that actually has super creative outside the box ad ideas, super unique, innovative retargeting strategies, right? So what we realize is that our ads in themselves are marketing our course, right? The very fact that our ads are different help prove the point that you should learn from us, right? So you can go learn from these other people that are all using the exact same templates. They're all using the exact same cookie cutter stuff. You're not going to learn anything innovative from them, right? How can you sit here and tell somebody, I'm going to teach you stuff you never heard of before, when all the ads you're using are what they've seen before, right? Like, in my opinion, that's why somebody like Billy Jean does such a great job, like financially, because Billy ran ads that nobody else was doing, right? Billy was shooting high production value videos. He was using pop culture references. He was making entertainment, and nobody in our space was doing anything close to that. So he had a monopoly, and he has a monopoly. Like, nobody competes with him in that area, right? So that's what I try to do as a marketer. That's what we all should try to do, is create our own monopolies, create our own bubbles that put up walls and barriers to entry, right? We might all be competing for the same audience. We might all be in the same industry, but that doesn't mean we have to play in the same playing field, right? So when Billy comes out and starts doing these high production, out greatest showman videos, this is the playing field. He just makes a playing field up here. So now if you're down here, you got to fucking climb to get up to him, right? He's up here, totally different playing field. And that's why companies like Purple and Casper and Dollar Shave Club and Squatty Potty and Gobi and Quip and Ritual and all these companies that have just exploded in growth, why they are killing it, because they might be selling the same product to the same audience that relatively does the exact same thing, but they have created a special angle. They've created an entertainment. They've created a brand. They've created an experience that just levels the playing field. It separates them from everybody else, right? When you think about mattresses, you don't put Purple and Casper in the same league as Sealy's and all the other brands. They're a total different league, not even the same ballpark, right? And I'm curious if you guys agree. You look at my friend Josh Elseche from Snow, right? And Snow, super saturated market. The LED teeth whitening market and just the teeth whitening market in general is probably one of the most saturated markets in the planet, right? Super high competition. It has the biggest companies in the world and startups all over the place, affiliates, everyone's trying to get a piece of that pie. Josh just played a different game. They were all doing the exact same thing, all using the same strategies, all using the same cookie cutter generic ad images, ad videos, ad copy about, hey, it whitens your teeth fast, it whitens your teeth effective, like boring shit. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Floyd Mayweather to market my stuff. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Rob Gronkowski to market my stuff. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Celebrity X, Celebrity Y, Celebrity Z to market my stuff. That's what I'm going to do. You can't compete, right? If I'm selling LED teeth whitening, I'm competing over here with everyone selling the product. Josh over here, he's not competing with these people anymore. Not in the same ballpark, right? Because if I'm thinking about buying a product, if I'm thinking about buying a teeth whitening product, and I see, the Snow brand, they got Floyd Mayweather in their ads. They got Rob Gronkowski in their ads. They got Jennifer Lopez. They got Miss USA. They got, oh my God, is that, what's the oldest Jenner, Kris. They got Kris Jenner. They got unboxing videos from all the celebrities. That brand's obviously got to be the better brand, right? That's the brand that grabs my attention and pulls me in. And it doesn't just work that way. It doesn't just work for your customers. It works for retail partners. It works with distribution partners. It works with media companies because they see that too, right? That's why he's getting offers to be put in Neiman Marcus and Target, all these big brands, because they want to have brands like that on their shelves because those are the brands that drive customers in the door, right? That's why Harry's is now in Target. That's why Casper is now in Target. because they've built these massive brands. So even like, let's look at this real quick. Sorry, I realize you guys are still looking at my screen. This brand right here, I saw a YouTube ad for the first time from them today, and it was awesome. The one thing about YouTube ads that I hate is that it's not an easy process to save them for watching later, unfortunately. But I never heard them before. This might actually be the video they played. Let me see this real quick.
Listen up.
Yeah, this is it.
Soap you shower with? It's you probably haven't even questioned what bar of soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. They're still using whatever bar their mommy bought for her little man. Is that what you want? To smell like mama's little man? Ugh. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who open...
I'm going to play like a minute or so just so you guys can see it.
Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. Dare I say, soft. Oh, men aren't supposed to have soft skin? Yeah, well, men weren't supposed to cry during movies. And then they made the movie Rudy. So little. You want to smell like the forest? Boom, pine tar, we've got you. You want to smell like the sea? Boom, nautical sage, we've got you. You want to smell like you just got off a boat in the Caribbean? Boom, bay rum, we've got you. And with 6 more cents, we've got you covered no matter what kind of man you are. Now you're wondering, why have I been doing it wrong for so long? During the First World War, big soap started taking out all the...
I like this part right here.
Sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, and dioxin. Chemicals linked to depression, liver damage, cancer, and low sperm count. And worst of all, dry skin. Oh, your poor balls, all dry, empty, and sad. But there's good news.
Actually, in the YouTube video, when he was throwing the stuff at him, it made like horrible burning sounds, which was really funny. But just let me ask you a question. You see an ad with an image of a bar of soap in it. You see an ad with a video showing somebody washing their hands with soap. You see an ad with, somebody holding a box of soap. Then you see an ad with this video. Which one do you buy? Which one do you do you pay attention to? Which one do you actually watch and engage with? It's going to be this one every single time, right? Because it's funny that they realize that soap is not a cool product, right? That's what we all need to realize. Like, most of our products we're selling are not, we're not building SpaceX rockets, right? We're not making, Teslas. Like, we're not selling products that are just super sexy and cool and like people want to be just on their very merit, right? Like, most marketers are marketing products that on their own, on the just face value of what they are not going to sell themselves. And so you need to start thinking, okay, I'm selling soap, right? They've literally taken, it's only a little easier than selling coal. Like, it's like giving a marketer saying, hey, here's a box of coal, sell this, right? With them, it's here's a soap, sell it. Here's a mattress, sell it. And most people, the route they would go is they would build a landing page. They would do some free plus shipping, a free trial. They would try all the typical, kind of BS marketing stuff. What you should be focusing on first is I need to come up with a fun brand. I need to come up with an angle that is so unique and so different and so special that it will create that bubble for us. It'll create that protective layer that gives us our own path, our own lane that nobody can catch up on once we get there, right? And these guys just have a great brand, right? Dr. Squatch, they have Sasquatch as a logo with a pipe. They understand their demographic. Their demographic is, guys that, want to be clean, but don't want to get the girly stuff, right? Because we understand like, hey, all the brands are made for women now. So they get all the cool stuff, but it's all very girly branding. It's very feminine. So you want to get the guy who still cares about smelling good, who still cares about the environment, who still cares about these things. So we need to create a manly brand that has those elements in it, but it's done in a masculine, fun, humorous way, right? They have this great branding, great packaging, great messaging about their products, masculine sense, glorious lather. It's a little copy, the little language in there is just incredible. 3,000 verified reviews. They have the soap quiz. Remember, I've talked about interactive content all the time, guys. They're using the soap quiz on here to help you with your buying process. which is great. It's like a multiple questions in here. It's a fun quiz. So where do you spend your time off? Then it asks like, if you saw Squatch in the woods, you would, which would you do? Run. What's your favorite type of scent? It's your skin. How tough a man are you? Chuck Norris, Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, Justin Bieber. So it has a great, just a great brand, right? So let me go back here because I know we're pushing up on an hour right now. But anyway, the point of this is, I think you don't need to have massive budgets to think outside the box. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions with marketing right now, is that you need to have Harmon Brothers size budgets or else you can't compete, or else you need to just go with the cheap, crappy stuff. It's not true. We don't have massive budgets, right? We don't have huge productions. We don't do big shoots like that, even though we are working on some really cool stuff that I can't spoil right now, but there's some fun ideas that we're toying with that are going to be really cool, and they're going to involve a little more hands-on, a little more production. But I digress. Most of our ads, like those images I showed you, the billboard, the lawyer billboards, the alt text ad, the Tinder swipes, our team can knock that out in an hour or so, probably less, putting those images together. We use our character, the unicorn, to kind of consistent have the branding. It's fun. It's easy. I can shoot videos here that are fun and use, basic apps, whether it's InShot on my phone or even just, you don't need to be a pro to use After Effects Premiere at a basic level, right? There's a lot of great tools out there that allow you to put together videos that convert, images that convert, that are different. But at the end of the day, I just want everyone to take, if you could take away one thing from today's video, other than don't spam people in their groups and don't do that shit. The second thing would be to think outside the box creatively, to do this. Before you put an ad out there, think about, would this stop me scrolling? Would my friends, family, target customer, would they actually stop their scrolling in their feed and have a positive reaction to this? Would they want to engage with this brand, right? Does this even make it seem like there's a brand, or is it just a generic product image? If the answer is not yes, overwhelmingly yes, that they're going to stop, it's going to break a pattern, they're going to be excited to interact with it, they're going to have fun with it, then you need to keep working, right? I would rather put out 4 or 5 really well thought out creative angles over a month than 30, 40 just shitty, cheap, generic images and videos every day of the week, right? Because at the end of the day, like, this is what I think was great about Billy. Like, there's people out there who pitch the need to do creative refreshes like weekly. I think that's bullshit, to be honest, right? Now, if you're spending $10, $20, $50,000 a day or more, yeah, you're going to need to refresh your creative on a weekly basis, maybe even more. But most people are not spending that type of cash. Most people are spending $100, $500 a day, maybe $1,000 a day. And in those cases, especially if your audience is 10 million plus people, you can run a creative for weeks or months in some cases. Like Billy, with his videos, he was running some of them for a long period of time, right? And they still worked. We've run videos for a long period of time. They've still worked, right? We've got a lot of length and use out of videos and images that have worked for us. And I think that's so important to think that way. Now, Troy had a question. Does your course go into more detail on pattern interruption? Yeah, I mean, that's a huge part of, we have a whole section on ethos, pathos, logos, which is really the kind of three principles for like kind of Aristotle and Socrates. Look back to the original philosophers and rhetoric. Ethos, pathos, logos are the foundation of rhetoric. Understanding those 3 elements and how you can incorporate those elements into your creative, into your copy, into your sales page is critical. That's just one of the videos, but there's definitely a lot of stuff in there about pattern interruption, about attention generation, attention grabbing. Plus, this is a big thing, guys. Like we're doing some work now in the back end with the program to just continue to make it even better. But what I believe separates us from everyone else is our personalization, my ability to work with students on a personal level, to actually audit their ads, to actually answer their questions, to actually give personalized feedback on their business, on their marketing in our live trainings and our live Q&As that we do every single month. And so like Troy, if you join paid traffic training, for example, like you'd be able to bring me, I think we actually have our in the next week, we have our next 90-minute training session. You'd be able to come and say, Max, here's the ads I'm running. Here's my business. How would you interrupt patterns? Go. And I would give you real personal feedback about what I would do if I was running your ads, right? How would I stop people on their feed? How would I alter your creative? What type of creative would I use? How would I incorporate current events and pop culture into it? That's another easy thing, like kind of low. There's different levels of work that goes into creating ads that stop people. The lowest hanging fruit is just using pop culture, right? Using current events. That's super easy. We do that all the time on our political business, Unicorn Politics, because we're doing polls and surveys and stuff and quizzes. So every day Trump says something different. Every day the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi and the squad do something that is newsworthy, that gets people talking and engaging. And we just tie that into our ad copy, tie that into our creative. Boom, people pay attention to it because it's breaking news, right? So incorporating, hey, The Lion King just came out. How can you incorporate Lion King into your ad? When Game of Thrones ended, how can you do Game of Thrones? Stranger Things. There's so many things that your target demo is looking for, right? When Stranger Things came out, everyone's talking about it, right? So if you're watching it, when you see a post on your feed about it from a company, it might be an article, insight, fun facts, something like that, you're going to pay attention to it because you're engaged. So if you tie that into your ads, people pay attention to it because it's Stranger Things, right? Hopefully you guys got some good stuff out of tonight. Again, this is our weekly segment, This Week in the World of Unicorn Nation, where I go live and share what we've kind of done in the last week, what we're working on, answer some questions. If anybody's interested in, we spent the last half of this session talking about how to stop people on their feed, how to grab attention, how to maintain attention, how to create killer ad creative and all that good stuff. And I can only touch on a little piece of it. But if you want to get that level of education, that level of just knowledge and strategy and insight, I highly recommend you check out paidtraffictraining.com. Go check out the new program I came out with. You get paid traffic training. You also get AdIQ Academy, my first course, 100 hours of videos. You get access to monthly training. You get all kinds of cool stuff. And so I know a lot of you are already in the course. You've already signed up. Anybody that hasn't, I highly recommend you get in there because that is what levels you up, right? It's investing in yourself. It's investing in your knowledge, and it's investing in the right knowledge, right? And I believe at the end of the day, because I'm not a very salesy type of person. Most of you know me, know I'm very against like the hard sell. I just did a video about like the fake timers and the fake counters and all the cheap tricks most marketers are using for their webinars. But at the end of the day, I think if you're deciding I need to invest in marketing education and Facebook ad education and training, you should be investing in the person that's doing things the most differently, that's thinking outside the box the most. That's the way I look at it for anybody that I want to invest in. Is if I'm looking to invest in mindset or sales or just marketing in general, I want to learn from the person that's just experimenting and trying and testing new shit and doing new things all the time and sharing that insight with me. That's a kind of a trailblazer. Now, I'm not saying I'm a true trailblazer, but what I will say is that that we do not follow the pack by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, every day I'm always thinking about how can I do things differently? How can I do a lead magnet different than everybody else? How can I do a webinar different than everybody else? How can I do a top of funnel ad different than everybody else? How can I create an ad strategy that's different than everyone else right now? How can I stand out? And then how can I teach that in a way that's different than everybody else? While obviously still making sure that it's super effective and gets results. So thanks, Michelle. I appreciate that. Michelle joined in the last month. It's great to have her in there. And I'm looking forward, Michelle, to answering your question. I know you missed the live last night about your new product that's kind of picking up some steam. So looking forward to going through those ads and the rest of the information and chatting about it more on our next live. Everyone else, I hope you had a great day. I hope the live was informative and valuable for you. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Just drop a comment. This is the only way I can gauge whether people actually enjoy these videos or not, right? Because there's no monetary tie to it. So your feedback is the single most important thing. So if you're enjoying these weekly lives, if you're enjoying the content, just drop a comment below. Let me let me and the team know that, and also suggestions of how you think it'd be better. What would you like to see in future lives? What we'd like to see in this group going forward? All of that insight, super important. We value it. We really respect everyone here and appreciate everyone, and think everyone here is super smart and their opinions valuable and worth listening to. Last thing, if you're in the group right now, above me, the pinned announcement, we passed 10,000 members in our group here. So Unicorn Nation now has 10,019 people in it. So we are giving away $100 plus lifetime access to pay traffic training. So if you go above after watching this video and follow the steps there, you can see exactly how to enter to win. You have till July 26th at 5:30 p.m. to participate. That's when we'll select the winner and announce them. So you basically have to like that post, invite 5 friends to the group, tag them in the comment, and like our Facebook page, Unicorn Innovations. If you do that, you are entered to win that cash prize and the course. So on that note, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being engaged, staying through the entire thing, asking great questions, and your support to date. I will see everyone on the next live. Thanks, guys.